Twice has always been known as the star group of JYP Entertainment. Their vibrant dances and trendy music videos make them stand out from the rest. But when it came to their music, fans started noticing something strange. What if I told you that fans nowadays rarely like them for their songs? If you look at their recent tracks, you'll see that they hardly top the charts. But when they perform on tour, they can easily sell out stadiums. So what's really going on with Twice? And why can't they stop making the same song? In this video, we're going to learn why Twice may never be able to produce another #1 single again, a feat that was normal early on in their career. Let's get into it. Twice debuted in 2015 as a result of the survival show 16. If you're a Twice fan, or even if you've just listened to a handful of their tracks, you know that they have a pretty unique sound. Their earlier hits like Cheer Up, TT, and Heart Shaker are textbook examples of that bubbly, energetic K-pop style. Their success even earned them multiple Daesung awards and international recognition, with their albums consistently topping the charts. But what if I told you this same signature style is one of the reasons for their downfall? The problem? Well, it seems like they've been riding that wave a little too long. They use the same formula: bright verses, catchy choruses, and energetic dance routines. And you know, while this is good for catching social media trends and becoming instantly trendy, such songs often die out very quickly as the trend collapses. Crazy enough, there's an issue that worsened with their recent songs, with some lyrics being so bad that fans labeled them straight up boring. But more on that in a couple of minutes. Listeners have pointed out that the melodies, tempos, and overall structure of these songs could almost be interchangeable. This isn't to say that they're bad songs, they're super catchy, but when several tracks follow such a similar pattern, it can get a little stale, even for the most devoted fans. Recent releases such as Scientist, from their album Formula of Love, The Feels, and Set Me Free, continued to showcase Twice's tendency to rely on familiar sounds and themes. Even their snazzy single The Feels, despite being their first full English track, shares the same poppy, dance-heavy energy as their earlier songs. Their 2023 comeback, Set Me Free, follows a similar pattern, using a bouncy, upbeat rhythm and positive lyrics. While the track was well received by their fan base, it did little to expand the group's musical horizons. One of the most obvious cases of repetition is the similarity between Heart Shaker and What Is Love. Fans have pointed out that these two songs are almost indistinguishable at points, particularly in their choruses. They share the same high-energy beats and structure, making it feel like you're listening to a variation of the same song. To make things worse, Stuck, a lesser-known track, has also been dragged into the mix because it resembles these two hits. If you shuffled these songs and played them back to back, it would be hard to tell where one song ends and the other begins. That's how similar they sound. When songs like Anti-Fragile by Le Sserafim or Afterlike by IVE hit the charts, they tend to stick with listeners because of their undeniable catchiness. Meanwhile, Twice's newer tracks, though high quality, seem to fade into the background once they finish playing, without leaving a lasting memory. But then you might be wondering, why has Twice been stuck in a musical rut recently? With so much talent and presence, it can't simply be a lack of creativity, right? It all comes down to 3 big problems, and the third one could even lead to the end of Twice. First, a major part of the problem seems to be that Twice's recent music has played it too safe. Fans have expressed that the group's producers and composers are no longer taking risks, which has led to their music sounding more predictable and formulaic. Tracks like Talk That Talk and Set Me Free are great, but they don't necessarily stand out in a sea of evolving K-pop sounds. During their golden years, they dominated the charts with Cheer Up, What Is Love, and Fancy. Now, however, they struggle to maintain the same level of chart-topping success. In the past, Twice was known for racking up 9 consecutive #1 singles, but their most recent releases haven't enjoyed the same chart success. I Got You, for example, was a step in the right direction musically, but even that was somewhat slept on. Second, the next big issue with Twice is their title track selection and their producers. Many fans feel like the wrong songs are being promoted as the lead singles, and that better songs are often buried in their albums as B-sides. Tracks like Bloom and Rush have been called out by fans as songs that should have been promoted as title tracks instead of One Spark. Their B-side tracks have a more modern and relevant sound, tapping into genres like Jersey Club, but they were overlooked in favor of safer choices. Coming to their producers, Iratak and Lindgren, we know that these two have been responsible for crafting some of the group's biggest hits, including I Can't Stop Me and Cry For Me. But newer releases by them are not doing so well. A big reason for this is the lack of change in the production team. Iratak in particular is closely tied to JYP Entertainment due to his personal connections within the company. This makes it unlikely that Twice will work with fresh producers anytime soon, despite growing calls for the group to bring new sounds into their music. The third and probably the biggest reason is the loss of key producers. JYP and Black Eyed Pilsung were instrumental in creating Twice's most successful hits like Fancy, Cheer Up, and TT during their peak from 2015 to 2019. These producers understood the Korean public's taste and consistently delivered catchy, chart-topping songs. However, BEP moved on to focus on their own projects, such as producing for Stacey, and JYP has not been as involved in shaping the group's sound recently. Without these strong producers, Twice's newer releases have struggled to find the right formula to appeal to the general public. As a 9-member group, Twice's music often needs to balance multiple vocal styles, which can lead to a more uniform sound. The vocal ranges and strengths of the members are somewhat limited, meaning that they often stick to high-energy pop songs rather than experimenting with more diverse genres like R&B or hip-hop. Now, it's not all bad news. In recent years, Twice has attempted to break out of their bubblegum pop mold. Songs like Fancy and Feel Special brought in more mature themes, both in terms of lyrics and visuals. These tracks are often mentioned as standouts because they showed the group trying something new while keeping that Twice energy that fans love.
You make me feel special.
However, even with these attempts at change, many listeners feel that the shift hasn't been big enough. For every Feel Special, there's a more and more, or alcohol-free, which brings the group back to that safe, familiar territory. In other words, they take 1 step forward and 2 steps back.
You make everything alright.
Even when Twice members have branched out for solo projects, the same criticism seems to follow them. Nayeon's solo debut, Pop, was met with both excitement and skepticism. While her solo performance showed off her individual talents, the song still felt very much like a typical Twice track. It had the same upbeat, bubblegum pop vibe that the group is known for. Despite the criticism, Twice is still one of the most popular K-pop groups globally, but there's a growing sense that their influence is starting to wane, especially when compared to other groups like Blackpink or even newer acts like ITZY or aespa. Twice's reluctance to change has been contrasted with groups like Red Velvet and Blackpink, who have been more experimental in their music. Red Velvet, for example, has explored different genres like R&B, funk, and even retro-inspired tracks. Blackpink, on the other hand, has embraced a more edgy, hip-hop influenced sound, which has helped them appeal to a wider audience. Groups like New Jeans and aespa have also caught the attention of younger listeners with their innovative approaches. New Jeans, for instance, has been praised for blending nostalgic 90s pop with modern production techniques. Meanwhile, aespa's futuristic, cyberpunk-themed music has differentiated them from the more traditional pop sounds of their predecessors. The big question now is, can Twice evolve? They've proven time and time again that they're capable of delivering chart-topping hits, but the criticism around their repetitive sound isn't going away. Twice has announced plans for more releases and tours in 2024, including a highly anticipated world tour. Fans are eager to see whether the group will take this opportunity to explore new musical directions. There are also rumors of more solo projects, which could allow individual members to showcase different styles outside of the group's signature sound. If they want to continue to dominate the K-pop scene, they might need to take bigger risks with their music and show a more dynamic range in their vocal performances. What do you think? Can Twice go back to consecutive #1 hits again? How do you think JYP will promote them differently in the future? Let us know in the comments below. If you think Twice can still come back strong, subscribe for more K-pop on K-Talk. Be sure to check out other videos in my channel, and see you again.